Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another fantastic episode of The Left Wing. I am TJ Whitehead, Powers Taken Not Given, joined as always by John Cooper Paz of Counterpoint Politics and Nala, who was on screen when I started talking, but now she's gone. I gotta ask John, what's the story? Oh, thank you. It looked
Yeah.
weird to me on the screen. I couldn't tell what was wrong. What's the story about naming the dog Nala?
It was on my short list of names, so I adopted her, and I like the Lion King, and I was like, that'd be a fun name for a girl dog. Nala is the love interest character for Simba. But then I got to the shelter, and I thought there was like a set amount of dogs in the shelter. They're like, oh, we also have this new dog. And I was like, oh, what's her name? They were like Nala, and I was like, well, that's too good to be true. And so yeah, I ended up taking her home that day.
That's cool. Oh wow, that's cool. Hi. I'm really interested in what people name their animals. I like a good, clever, creative, or a name with an interesting story behind it. Or I was at Heather's relatives over Fourth of July, and they had a dog named Kitty. I love that. I love it when the animal's name doesn't fit the actual animal. I also love animals with titles in their name. I had a dog growing up named Dr. Watson. It had like a mustache, so we named it Dr. Watson. And I knew a girl who had a hamster named Sir Henry. Just any title like attached to an animal, big fan of. And people usually save the really fun names for their cats. Like this is my cat. Like beef burrito or something. I love that shit. I like really fun names, but it's one of those times you can't do that with kids. So you gotta save it for the animals because kind of you can't be too clever with the kids' names because that's not sorry. I'm gonna roll here. That's another pet peeve of mine, John. I don't like it when people name their kids a normal name but then spell it all weird, like this is my daughter, her name is Amy, but it's not AMY, it's AMYEE or something, or AIMEE or something like that. I hate that shit. I knew a girl, her name was Crystal, and it was spelled KRSTLE. So she couldn't. So the rest of her life, she's gonna be saying, "Oh, my name is Crystal," and she can't even say Crystal with a K. Like that would be bad enough, but she's like, "Oh no, it's Crystal with a K, but it ends in LE and not AL." I can't stand that shit. Stop burdening your children with weird spellings on names. I can't stand that.
TJ, I agree entirely. But also, I just feel like that's like I don't know why people do it because it's just innately trashy. Like no matter like kind of where you come, like that's I would assume that's a white trash girl right there. Like if you just like gave me a blank piece of paper and said Crystal like that, I'm assuming you're either introducing me a stripper
No.
or the trashiest
Stripper.
you've
Stripper.
ever seen.
No, she came from like a solid upper middle class family.
That's
She was half white, half Mexican. Her dad was a pilot for Delta Airlines. I mean, like a solid family, nice big house and everything. I was like, oh god, that is so strange. And her siblings all had normal names. Jessica, Jacob, just normal fucking names spelled normal ways. I just hate it when people butcher. And look, this is we've all seen the Key and Peele sketch with the with the then the
Aaron.
yeah, well, not that one. Oh, that's a different one, actually. That's a different one. I was thinking of the one where they do the football rosters.
The East West Bowl or North South
Yeah,
Bowl.
yes, that's right, the East West Bowl, yeah. And it all started because there was a player for the New York Jets named DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and they thought that was really funny, and so they started rolling on with that. Yeah, people, you can say this is a white supremacist colonial take all you want. Just give your kids names that aren't going to stick out like in a weird way. That's all I'm saying here. This applies no matter what color your skin is. And I hear a lot of explanations from this that, well, you got to understand that I don't even know this is true. It doesn't sound true, but I do hear this, that the unique names that you hear in African American communities originated in plantations when people were being bought and sold. And so if you wanted to find out if your relative lived somewhere, you had this unique name that no one else would have. I don't know if that's true, but we don't gotta do that anymore. All right, we don't gotta do that anymore. We are long beyond. And look, a unique name can be cool because I don't want to, like Ashanti is like an African tribe or something. That's a great name. That's a great name, right? It's you know when a name is weird, and sorry, John, I can't stop. I'm so sorry, John, I can't
This
stop.
show is just evolved into TJ's pet peeves.
No, it is. Listen, I don't know if you've ever heard this, where people will say, oh, my teacher can't pronounce my 5-7 syllable name that they've never seen before, but they can pronounce Aloysius. Weird. Yeah, because they've seen the word Aloysius, right? That's why. It's not because they're racist, okay? It's just because they're familiar. If you like moved to Hawaii and you found a bunch of names with a bunch of apostrophes in it and you couldn't pronounce it, that doesn't mean you're a racist. It just means it's a name you're not familiar with. Now, if it's been 5 years and you're still being a dick about it, yeah, sure, but just God, this is old man TJ coming out here. I'm really getting to my 40s right now, but this is I'm not holding back anymore. Let's go. Sorry, John.
I very delicately put out that it was white trash that I assumed, and totally wasn't thinking, oh, there's another group of people who does this.
Yeah.
that I'm not going to talk about, but I'm sure TJ will get to eventually. Welcome, guys, to The Left Wing. This is our show where we talk politics, pop culture, and really whatever the fuck we want to talk about. See a couple new commenters in here. Karma says hi. I don't think I've seen a hi from Karma before. She says she's German. Thank you, Karma. Very, very glad to know that you're German. And Colby said that his name begins with a K. What do you think of Colby with a K? Is that weird for you, DJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Colby.
But it's not egregious, I guess. So Crystal with a K I can deal with. If you're gonna spell Crystal with a K, Krystal, all right, fine. I just don't want you to burden the child, right? Like Colby can just say Colby with a K, or my name is Caleb with a K. That works. That's fine. That's not egregious. It's still a little annoying, but you start getting really, really cute with it. That's obnoxious.
That's good. And I also saw Kyle saying hi, guys. So hi, Kyle. I love that Kyle just always says hi to us. Like it does. We don't always mention it, Kyle, but just know every time I see it, it brightens my day. Colby says Colby with a Q.
See, that would be one that's like, I remember when I was, John, this is years ago. I think I was a teenager. I saw this story of a couple that had a daughter, and they named their daughter Zyalexis. Already playing with fire right there. Weird name. All right, Zyalexis, whatever. But Zyalexis, like the Alexis part was what you would guess it is, Alexis. But the Z part wasn't a Z at all. It was like 13 X's in a row. It was just like X, 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 X. Yeah, that's what. And so a court struck down the name. This is probably why it imprinted on me from an early age that people get really obnoxious with these names. I remember a guy legally changed his name to Trout Fishing in America, and his signature. This is fine. If you want to get cute with your signature, you can put whatever you want for your signature. Your signature does not have to be letters. It can be someone else's name. It's just your signature. And his signature was a right arrow, a smiley face, and a left arrow. That was his signature, and I loved it. I thought that was pretty cool. So if you want to get cute with your own signature, but not with your kids' names. Just don't make it a burden on them. That's all I'm saying.
I need, before we get off the name thing, I need your opinion on something I've always wanted to do. My wife will never let me. I would love to name my son Cooper. I think Cooper would be a great name. Cooper Paz would also be great. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but if it was up to me, it would be Cooper.
Straight to jail, John. Straight to fucking jail. Now, you're not going to believe this. When I was in high school, I knew a kid named Matthew Matthews, and I thought that was the dumbest name ever. I said, and his siblings had normal fucking names, Jared, Rachel, just normal names, and like, nope, Matt Matthews, like that is so fuck. I hated that for him. He's dead now, but listen, it's like he died at like 31, man. So look, that's what you're gonna be sending your kid to, an early grave from like a freak heart like a heart disease or something like that out of nowhere. So yeah, John, that's your omen. Don't go down that road.
I'm Hugh Jazz says Cooper with a K, Cooper Buzz.
I'm so mad I didn't think about that. I'm so pissed off at you. Was that Hugh Jazz? Hugh Jazz? Yep. I'm blocking you from this account, man, because that was amazing. I'm so pissed off I didn't think about that.
So we had someone ask us, Leo the Goat says, what is this about? TJ, what is our show about today?
Oh, we're gonna talk about Grand Platiners some more and some other stuff. But listen, we're on a roll here, folks. Don't see this. Let's go with the comments here real quick. Colby says favorite political candidate getting canceled by the woke mob and Democratic establishment. That's what we're gonna be talking about. And Colby also wrote. Can you believe Mr. Whitehead told Mrs. Whitehead not to encourage my historical tellings of TJ's life? I don't think you were there for that episode, John. That was on the 2 weeks that me and Heather did the episode, and Colby kept every time we brought up a historical fact, Colby would tie it to the fact that I was there, something lazy like that. It's not funny, man. It's not that funny. It's like every single time it's like, oh, the War of 1812. TJ was enlisted during the War of 1812. Yeah, he was talking all about that. But
TJ invented recruiting in the War.
Yeah, Washington had no idea what to do. And Kyle says there's a sketch of two very white people who try to name their son DeMarcus Jamiroquai Johnson. The nurse was like, maybe you should pick a different name. I haven't seen that one. That one's really good. God, I miss Key and Peele. They had some great shit.
I miss sketch comedy. Like, I don't know what happened. I haven't seen a sketch comedy show of any note come out in a long time. I guess I think you should leave, but that sucked. And I didn't like that.
A lot of people like that.
I know. I don't get it. I don't get the humor. I loved his HBO show, Chair Company. That was fantastic. But the sketches, I never got it. The joke was the same. Every single sketch.
I think that sketch comedy is harder to pull off these days now that everyone can do their own sketch comedy. I think that, 15 years ago, back like in the heyday of Key and Peele, probably maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, it's like 10 years ago. You were kind of starved for that. Like the barrier to entry was a lot higher. You couldn't just pull out your phone and anyone just make a video and have access to editing equipment and stuff like that. But now anyone can do it. If you want to see a sketch, you can do it anytime you want. And yeah, I think that's probably what kind of did it. Colby says, have you guys been watching X-Men 97? I have not. Have you, John? I haven't seen a new episode yet.
I have not yet, but I very much will.
Me too.
Is on my the reason I haven't watched it is because I need the time to sit down and watch it and give it my full attention, because I have so much respect for the first season. I cannot wait to watch this again.
Oh, it's so good. I've seen clips here and there, and it's I need to get around to watching that. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Hugh Jazz says hi. Colby says, I've got a friend named Malik with a Q, but everyone I've met is, I've never seen Malik with, see, why would you do that? I don't know why.
It actually makes it sound like a girl's name.
It does. I would assume that's a girl's name.
I would assume Malik with a Q-U-E is a girl, if I just read that name.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm supposed to, fuck it, I should know these, but Heather has a friend here. She's a doctor. Her name is Herman. And she's like, her name is Herman. And I met her actually a long time ago because she takes lessons from Heather or whatever. But she's of Indian descent. Her parents are immigrants from India. I thought, oh, okay, maybe that's why. And then I talked to her about, she's like, no, that's actually a male name in India too. I don't know why my parents said that to me.
It's like a boy named Sue, but the other way around.
Yeah. So that's kind of funny. I dated a girl named. I'm giving all this personal history for all these people I know. I've named 7 people in my personal life on this. I don't usually do that. But a girl, her middle name was Michael. Her dad wanted a boy, and so he named her Michael as her middle name. And Kyle says, John, name your child another outdated profession like chimney sweep.
That's because Cooper is a barrel maker.
I didn't know that.
What Cooper means, yeah. So Kyle with the historical pull.
Yeah,
it was probably a pretty common profession when you were born.
Oh, very good. You proud of that? Proud of that, John? You and Colby just yucking it up. Colby with the Q. Ultimate Cool Ride, whatever, says, can I please get a moderator?
I don't know. They kind of went on about that, and they said if they don't get a moderator, they will sue us. So yeah, go ahead and sue us for not giving you a moderator. If you want to moderate, we could always use a moderator for our comment section. But what's her next thing there? Can you believe the World Cup likes Argentina more states? Because I heard that today's game or tomorrow's game is going to send an Argentina goal. I don't know what you're on about. This, whatever you think you're watching right now, Ultimate Cool's Ride Summer, it's not this show. So let's just ignore them for now.
I have no idea what's going on with the World Cup, like at all. I know that I know we beat Australia. I remember that, and we lost to Belgium, I think,
We lost to
and
Belgium.
and Trump got a red card overturned so a guy could
Oh yeah,
play.
I do. I just want to get on my soapbox about
Let's
that.
go. Yeah.
The people who were clutching their damn pearls over the red card thing and Trump calling FIFA to like get the red card, the suspension suspended. Like, guys, those are the people that make liberals look bad. Like, if you're gonna really genuinely, again, you're American. You probably don't give a shit about soccer, don't give a shit about the World Cup. You don't really give a shit about any of this. And you're telling me that it's some sacrilege to the sanctity of FIFA that they would be influenced by a government official like that. But come on, that shit happens from every country in every World Cup. Donald Trump's just the only one dumb enough to brag about it. Like, that's the only difference there. And I'm not going to believe you if you're really going to say that you care about this after not watching any soccer ever besides the World Cup. Like, please go faint somewhere else.
If you complain about that, I'll only allow you to do it if you can tell me who won the last World Cup. That's the only way that you can ever. And even so, I thought it was kind of silly too. I mean, I just didn't care. I just did not care. They said whether he did it or not, or he did. I guess he said he admitted it, but yeah. I just don't give a fuck. Even if it was a sport that I cared about, I'd have a hard time giving a fuck. And it's also one of those things like when you have a dirty player on your team, you love him. If he played for the other team, you would hate him, right? So I don't know. If I was in New York and the Knicks were playing and say Jalen Brunson got suspended or something and Mamdani called the league office to get him back and he bullied them in, yeah, I'd love that. I'd love it. He'd be a hero. And this makes him even better if you ask me. So yeah, I just in the list of like Trump crimes or Trump less than stellar or disreputable actions, that one, it doesn't even make the list. I just don't care at all.
And like, it's just bad sportsmanship. It's like, you should root for the home team no matter what. When I go to a game and the ref calls a foul on my team, I could see the foul. I could agree that it's a foul. It doesn't matter. I'm still fucking booing. Like, that is what being a fan is. And if you don't get that, you clearly don't understand the culture that you are saying is suddenly destroyed. The sanctity of this game that you never cared about and clearly never will. It makes us look bad, TJ. Makes us look bad. Does not beat the Democrats or feminine accusations by the conservatives over there.
At least they care about a sport. That's a step in the right direction. Democrats caring about a sport. Wrong one to prove your masculinity, but it's something. Colby put some shitty comment about me being 250 years old, so I'm not gonna address that one. And Stewart says, "Are we talking about the Democrat Nazi Graham Plattner?" Well, let's talk about Graham Plattner, John. Let's do it. Since that was let's go. All right, so Graham Plattner has announced that he's suspending his campaign, and he has buckled and to the woke mob, and he says, "Fine, I'll bow out. I'll step away." He still denies the allegations, which weird way to go. I mean, I don't know. I guess you can't really say yes, I did do it. That doesn't really work either. But I mean, fine. He's dropping out of the race or whatever. And he hasn't actually filed the paperwork yet. I saw something that he plans to file the paperwork on Monday because that's the deadline, which seems a little weird. But what do you think, John?
I don't know if he'll file it, TJ. It is odd that he hasn't done it yet. It is a little worrying that he hasn't done it yet. Don't know why he would wait. There's really no good reason to wait. The video that he released, did you watch the video?
I didn't watch it, no.
Yeah, no one did. It's 11 minutes long.
Exactly. When I saw it's 11 minutes, like, no, I don't watch it that bad.
I obviously Graham Plattner doesn't have great instincts for this moment, and not great instincts from any other moments. But I will say that's the worst thing you can do. Like, if you are in a Graham Plattner situation, even if you actually didn't do it, which, again, clearly we're going to believe these allegations. They're pretty substantial. But on the off chance that he is actually being bulldozed, you got to kind of accept that you made this bed for yourself. Like you got to kind of accept that, yeah, maybe I wasn't the guy to hold this banner against the establishment. If I have all of these skeletons in my closet and all of this history, maybe you weren't the guy, Graham. Maybe this just wasn't your task to champion. There's a song, a classic labor song. I forget exactly where it's from. I'm pretty sure it's a Guthrie song. I could be wrong. But it's 10 times more. And the whole thing is like, if they're going to work, we got to work 10 times more, because that is the whole point of us being a working class against the working against the capitalist machine. We need to work harder. We need to be better. We can't play on a level playing field because that's not the way it works. And if you're Graham Plattner and you actually fucking believe in what you're saying, you bow out gracefully and you do whatever you can to save face. And then you just sail off into the sunset. And do not make a fuss, because the more fuss that you make, the more you damage the cause that you have said that you wanted to champion thus far. It's not about you, Graham. It's not. It's not. And the more you make it about you, the more you wriggle and try and get out of this, the worse it's going to get for you. It's actually insane to me that people don't understand that. Like, he can't win. It's over for him. There's no good way out of this. The best thing that will happen to him is if everyone forgets who he is.
Yeah, you're right. It's you got to realize when you've lost, and more importantly, like John said, realize that the moment is bigger than you. This movement, or like this political philosophy, like whatever you want, like what if you truly believe what you say you believe, that you want to lift up the working class and make this a coalition of people. It's not about you getting into the Senate. If you truly do believe all this stuff, there's a million different ways you can help this cause without actually being in office, like everybody else does, right? It's fine. And the thing about him not being the right guy for the moment, and maybe you should realize that, or maybe someone should have pointed this out to you before you got too far. You can't have that many bad allegations, man. You can't. You just can't. You can't allow these things to stack up like this over the years, because after a while, it stops being, oh, you just had bad luck. After a while, people are just gonna. You can't look. You can either have. Okay. You can either have a sexual assault allegation or a Nazi tattoo, right? You can't have both. You can't have both. I'm sorry, man. There's only so much goodwill that you can foster and say, oh, that was wrong. That's a mistake or whatever. And you can't have, look, the first allegation that came out against him after the tattoo was a woman who said that he like grabbed her arm while he was arguing with her or something like that. And it turned out that woman was a Republican operative. Like, she worked for the Republican Party. All right, that sounds suspicious, right? That's like, okay, I don't know about that. Now, sure, maybe he did date a Republican in the past. I gotta tell you, I have fucked plenty of Republicans in my day. Okay, plenty of them. All right, it's not beyond it's not beyond belief or anything like that. Man, you have multiple of these women coming forward saying bad things about you, saying that the infidelity stuff that I think he was sexting women while he was married. I can't. Yeah, welcome to the club. That's politics, right? I mean, that's everybody in politics. I don't think that mattered at all. But you can't have these things stacking just on top of them, on top of them, on top of them, and then think people are going to be okay with it. It's like, yeah, I'm shocked he made it that far. Actually, I'm kind of surprised he made it as far as he did.
It is surprising. It's honestly once again an embarrassment to the establishment Democrats that like they couldn't get this before.
Yeah.
The primaries, because they love to go, oh, we told you so over this, right, TJ? They're like, oh, we told you Graham Pattner was bad news. We shouldn't have trusted him, yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, here's the thing: if there had been another candidate with Graham Pattner's policy platform that wasn't an obvious risk, they would have won. Like you guys all coalesced around Janet Mills, who nobody fucking liked and was the antithesis of everything that Graham Plattner was fighting for. And the people who voted for Graham Plattner hated Janet Mills. If there had been another viable candidate, they probably would have beat Graham Plattner. Like that. That's the thing here. Like we were talking about on Tuesday's show on TikTok, which, by the way, if you're watching this right now, definitely join us on TikTok on Tuesdays. We were saying, yeah, like if this was the deciding vote between ending the genocide in Gaza or having it be ongoing, would you vote for Graham Plattner? And it's like, I'd probably hold my nose and do it if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, and I wouldn't like it. But like, that isn't even the situation we had here. We're definitely going to have bad policy with Janet Mills, someone who's going to be bought out by corporations, who's going to be bought out by political super PACs, versus someone who isn't going to do all of those bad things, but clearly could be a risk. Well, clearly a risk versus obvious bad thing. I'm going to take clearly a risk every single goddamn time. And I just don't understand how people look back at this and go, oh, this is progressives' fault for supporting this candidate. No, bro, it's your fault for not placing a better fucking candidate than Graham Plattner. Like, clearly you could have, and you failed.
That is a funny solution people are coming to now. Like, well, this just proves Medicare for all is a terrible idea. This is all the evidence I need that we need to support Israel. I just like it's funny that that's the solution people are coming to. But you know what? That's a good point about the Democratic machine. Like, one of the two major political parties in the nation, that they keep dropping the ball on this. It's slightly different because it's a Democrat, not a Republican. George Santos, amazing. George Santos got elected, and we didn't find out until after his election about just
the most insane shit you've ever heard.
Like Sherlock Holmes character, like level of crimes, just like every crime you could think of, this guy has committed over the years. False names, false histories, defrauding veterans, military veterans, and veterinarians. I mean, literally in the same scheme. It's just shocking how badly the establishment let us down and not getting the Oppo research in there. I mean, I guess if you want to get around it, run as a Republican, because the Republicans do their work. They are doing their work finding this, and because I assume they're the ones who did this. The Democrats would have brought this.
No, they weren't. TJ, they weren't. They were not. The Collins camp was pissed. The reporting has come out that they had more shit on them, and they wanted Plattner to be the nominee, and they were pissed when all of this
someone else let it come out.
They were waiting to drop this themselves. They were waiting because if it was the Republicans, they would have waited till after he was the nominee and then
that'd be the smart thing. Okay, that'd be the smart thing. Yeah.
So that's I genuinely think that this was the victim having a change of heart all on her own. Like I really don't believe. I think I'm totally with Graham Plattner that like the New York Times piece where they went around and tried to find every single woman he ever had contact with and tried to get them to speak badly about him, but didn't even bother to interview his own wife currently. Like, yeah, that's clearly a hit piece. But just because something's a hit piece,
that's
hits in it aren't true.
Yeah.
And this was a woman who was in that hit piece who at the time decided not to come forward with the sexual assault allegations, who changed her mind later. And she explicitly said the reason she hid them was because she agrees with Graham Plattner's politics, and just the crisis of conscience, I guess, came out at this time while he could still be changed to the nominee. And like, I believe every single word.
Oh no. Lost John. That's too bad, because I had some funny stuff I wanted to say about that, but looks like John is back.
There we go. Sorry about that, TJ.
What happened there?
I would say I hit a button and it exited.
Okay.
Kyle asks, what are your thoughts about the woman accusing him of sexual assault, texting him that night, asking him to come over for a boob massage, and previous say he was abusive but didn't sexually assault her? To which I will say, first, she asked for a glute massage, not a boob massage. Get your facts straight. And second, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm a big fan of Ryan Grimm. I don't know if you're aware of what went down there, TJ.
No.
But Ryan Grimm put out an article that said that Politico had the text that she sent to Graham Plattner saying earlier that day, my ass is sore, I need a glute massage or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. And they intentionally didn't put it in the piece. To which I say, who gives a shit? Like, yeah, if I'm going to be totally honest with you, they should have. It's weird that they didn't include that intentionally. But am I going to sit here and pretend like it would change the facts of the case in any way, shape, or form? No. And it's uncouth to complain about that. You just sort of let it go. Like that's what Ryan Grimm should have done.
I hadn't heard about that. I was I want to talk about what you mentioned, that it was weird that they sent out a team of people to interview all the women he had been romantically involved with and didn't bother talking to the one he was currently romantically involved with. And then I started thinking, is that standard operating procedure for people running for office? Maybe it is. I mean, it's not a terrible idea if you want to dig up dirt on somebody. And I started thinking, it's like, man, if I ran for office, how comfortable would I be with that? It's like, oh yeah, TJ running for office. We're sending a team of people to talk to every woman you've been romantically or physically involved with. And my first thought would be, man, hope you got a lot of people. I hope you got a lot of time on that, folks, because this is going to be a long set of interviews that you got going on here. And second, I think I'd be all right. I think I'd be all right. I don't know any, like, of course I would never say it out loud. Like, why would I? But it's like, I wouldn't be afraid of that. So yeah, live a good life. Like, try, do your best. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I am apologetic for. Certainly things that I've said. If you start digging up like old tweets and old, Facebook posts or TikTok videos, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of controversial shit on there, but it's what I really think. But actions like actually physically or sexually assaulting someone's like, ugh, that's don't run for office if you got that in your closet, because someone will find it.
Why would
Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Like, again, I don't want to be giving rapists good advice necessarily, TJ, but I'm just
don't
saying,
be
like,
one is good advice.
yeah, not be one. That's number one. That's the most important thing. Number two, if you are some person who did that in their past and has reformed themselves and whatever, I believe in redemption. I believe in rehabilitative justice. So I got to believe in that. But just don't run for office then. Just don't do that. It's just a bad idea. It's going to go badly for you. It's going to make everything you stand for. It's going to tarnish everything you stand for and you fight for. So just don't do it. And that's the thing. Like, again, at the end of the day, that's the thing of, like, even if you think it's all a total, it just, if Graham Plattner was actually the guy that he claimed to be, his actions since the allegations came out do not indicate that he is. Like that's kind of the bottom line to all of this, is even if you're someone who believes that the establishment absolutely stonewalled him and dug up all this dirt on him and all this, okay, fine. I agree with you. The establishment didn't like him. They tried to get him to lose. I agree with all of that. At the end of the day, if he actually championed the cause that we all champion here, he would not put himself in the spotlight knowing all of these damaging things would come out about himself. It's just a bad look. It's just a bad look.
It is a bad look.
I don't trust the guy. That's the end of the day.
And
that's what you got to look at.
And with guys, like, we've all been in situations where there's just a guy where you just had to finally let him go because of allegations. Like, it's like we've all been through this, and so like when you see it, you just know what happens. Ultimate Cool Ride, John. I hadn't seen him. You were right. Holy shit. Can I please get a moderator? If I don't get a moderator, I will sue you. And but then I do see that Ultimate Cool Rider said, "Hey, you're right about the editing thing. I think it's what we mentioned about how short form videos and sketch comedy is easier now, the editing thing." So weird compliment between threats of litigation from us. 5 Mile Smile says, the black got pentagrams behind him. Satanist. These are stars right there. Those are not. Those are stars. Like regular. That is an American flag right there. That is the flag that the United States military gave me after I retired from the Army with my honorable discharge, and it's behind me. It's not a pentagram. I just wanted to put that out there. So yeah, weird. Okay. Stewart 2004 says Democrats want USA to fail. John, do the Democrats want the USA to fail? I guess that matters. It depends on what that means. Because if you ask me, I like how I asked John a question. I'm answering it myself. But like, do I want the USA to fail? I want us to fail in our war against Iran, which is hot again, by the way. We're definitely going to talk about that on the show. I don't want us to win the war in Iran because I don't know what that fucking means. Like, victory in the war in Iran would mean either us replacing the Iranians with our own puppet dictator, us conquering the land, or us taking control of the Strait of Hormuz for ourselves. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that to happen. I hope things stay the same as they were in the beginning of the year, which isn't going to happen, or I hope Iran takes it over, which they already have. Like that, those seem like more peaceful options that would lead to better outcomes than us actually winning the war. So, yeah, wanting the USA to fail, I guess, on some aspects, but as a whole, I want the country to survive and thrive.
And it's a very odd accusation I get, because I think that there are some politicians on both sides of the aisle that genuinely want, I wouldn't say want the US to fail, but do things they intentionally know will hurt the US for their own self-interest. There are those who do stupid things that will cause the US to fail, but they think that it is the good thing to do. I do think that most politicians lie somewhere in between those 2 points. But the funny thing about Republicans saying that is, like, Donald Trump is the most
God.
obvious in it for himself politician you've ever seen in your life. He made $1 billion, $1 billion while in office. Just coincidentally, I'm sure. Like, you just, I don't understand that accusation when your president is Donald Trump. Like, again, we'll sit here and we will complain about Democrats with you all fucking day long. We will bash the Democratic Party every single episode we do this show because we think that they also fuck up America. But don't sit here and be like, oh yeah, the Democrats uniquely want America to fail. No, they do a lot of really dumb things in the name of self-interest, just like the Republicans do. Can we just all agree on this?
I hate that Republicans can get away with hating the country, just hating the country. That and it depends on what you mean by the country. Like, when you love the nation, yeah. What do you mean by do you love the United States? And when I say I love the United States, I mean I love the people, right? I love the people. That's what I'm talking about. Republicans love the mythology of the United States, but even like Donald Trump doing things like saying, this is a year ago, this was a dead country. This country was going nowhere. We're the laughing stock of the world. We're weak. Our military is garbage. Everyone is making fun of us. And if a Democrat said even saying that, oh, I like soldiers who don't get shot or who don't get captured. Those are my favorite people. And down to the most obvious example of this is Trump is very open and honest about the fact that he wants a weaker dollar. He has been saying this for years. I guarantee if you told the next Republican you meet, hey, Donald Trump is trying to weaken the American dollar, they would scream in your face and no, that's fake news, that's a lie. Why would Trump want to weaken my dollar? Even though he says it all the time. And if any Democrat anywhere said, yeah, we need to weaken the dollar, all you would see nonstop is not just conservatives and right wingers talking about how this person is terrible for the nation. They want to weaken the dollar. They want to take money out of your pocket. You see it on regular news stations. It would be like the scarlet letter that was just branded on that would never go away. Trump gets away with it for reasons, Then that's what bothers me the most. That Republicans can do the most anti-American shit possible and still get to claim to be the flag waving Captain America party. It's insane how this works.
It is. And not to mention something that I also always say, not that anyone gives a shit. Republicans explicitly want less Americans.
Yep,
they are explicitly in the courts fighting to make people who are American not American anymore. I don't know what could possibly be wanting to destroy America more than destroying the Americans who make it up. Like that, people seem to think, I don't know, TJ. Let me throw this at you.
Yeah.
I always view America as all of us as individuals collectively coming together, and that collective power is what America is. But I feel like I don't know for certain that this is a Republican Democrat thing, but I feel like conservatives feel this way more so, that they see America as this idea that the individuals are supposed to fit into. And I feel like that explains a lot of the differences of what we talk about when we talk about what it means to be American, what America is. Like, they think that there is an idea that is America that cannot be changed. And if you do not conform to it, you are being anti-American. Whereas I just view that as impossible. Because to me, America is just the culmination of all the individuals who are Americans.
Yeah.
And it's constantly changing. It's a melting pot, as we all fucking learned in school. Like, that's the only thing we can all agree on, except we don't agree on even that anymore.
Yeah, they do see Americanism like a real. They even say it all the time that Well, when you talk to real Americans, well, when you're out there with real Americans, and well, like it's this immutable concept that was born in 1944, and that those people who I saw on TV when I was a kid or something, or in movies, that's what a real American is. And forget what people were like before that, and the fact that most Americans don't fit that. Most
Yeah.
Americans don't fit this Leave It to Beaver like a lifestyle where you got like a white family with a couple of kids. The dad works and the mom stays at home. Like that's almost nobody. And the closest people you have to that live in the middle of fucking nowhere. They have no interaction with greater society, with a greater culture. They don't export anything. Like when people come to visit America, they're not coming to visit them in Possum Grape, Arkansas. That's not happening, right? They're going to the cultural centers. They're going to the big cities where all the money is made and where all the culture is produced. But that's not real America. Real America is a place where you step outside, you don't see any of your neighbors because you live in the middle of a field somewhere. It's insane. Like their idea of what America can be is limited to what they are. It just doesn't get you anywhere.
And I just don't understand how it's just so historically inaccurate.
Yes,
what they try and paint as America every single time. Like it just has never been the case. Like people who used to not be real Americans, like my people, the Irish, they are now considered real Americans. And what changed? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it blows my mind. I really hate the entire mentality. But yeah, how did we even get to this? We're talking.
Someone commented, Democrats want the USA to fail. I see you starred like 5 or 6 comments here. Sorry.
I started a couple up there because there was, I feel like I lost a lot of my stars. But I do know, just going back to Grant Plattner, I did, Kyle said being abusive was apparently forgivable. And John, I remember you saying something like the women aren't saying he sexually assaulted them because they raised a defamation claim. Do you think that'll happen? No, I don't think Graham Plattner is dumb enough to raise a defamation claim here. He'll lose and it will be bad for him and he'll be dragged in the media and he just shouldn't do that. Nor do I think he really would be the kind of guy who would, but who fucking knows? Being abusive isn't forgivable, but the claim, just to clarify, the only person who accused him of any sort of abuse was the lifelong Republican operative, who the New York Times singled out, and no other person who the New York Times, again, scathingly went through his entire life and tried to find ever accused him of abuse until now, until this woman. So that was why it was like, okay, this is obviously very suspect, and there is not a pattern of behavior here, but now there is, and so now we believe them. That's the case.
Tapua Robert says the USA is failing and it's Trump's fault. I just have I'm gonna get you to the star comment you had here, John, but that just reminds me of a random story not connected to any of this. Just want to say this, but back when I was an Army recruiter, I had an applicant whose last name was Tapewa, and she was a high school senior, and I had to pick her up from school to take her to the recruiting office and then take her back. A lot of these kids didn't have cars, and so I was driving her from the office back to her house, and she was mentioning, I think she had signed up and she was going to leave later that year. And she said, yeah, well, in the summers, me and all my siblings, we go and we work on the plantation for like 3 months. And I was like, the what? And she says, yeah, we go work on the plantation. And I said, are they still called plantations? John, they are. They are still called plantations. If you go to like these big fields, there's a whole bunch. I went there and checked myself, and it's like, oh my God, they're still called plantations. You figure they would have kind of got rid of that name by now, but no, I was kind of shocked to find that out. So that's just nothing to what we're talking about. But yeah, it kind of shows these folks aren't sorry for a goddamn thing. I don't know if I was running one of those things like, no, we're changing this to any other word, literally anything else. But sorry, what comments did you have here?
I did have this one start. I liked it. I don't think they're watching anymore, but Gary said, after you do away with the Jews and destroy Israel, who are you going to start with? Catholics, Protestants, Asians? You people are so full of hate, and it's absurd. First of all, Gary, I'm one of the Jews, so not doing away with them, but you got me, because I will totally do away with the fucking Catholics. I'm totally a race traitor to my fellow Catholics. I wish the entire church would dis-a-fucking-peer.
I
So you did get me there. I do have hatred for the fucking sex cult, child sex cult that is the Catholic Church.
See, this is someone with no military experience whatsoever. Because I got to think, if I'm gonna go into like a combat situation in the United States and I want to ethnically cleanse people, I'm starting with the small numbers first. So Jews make sense. All right, that makes sense. Catholics and Protestants, that is millions upon tens of millions of people, hundreds. I You start with the
Way too
Asians.
large a population.
Way too large. You start with the Asians, okay? Obviously, all right. You start with Jews, then the Asians.
We're just being pragmatic here.
Just come on. There's only so much weaponry we have here. Your combat power is going to be limited when you spread your forces out that thin. So yeah, at least plan your stuff properly. 5 Mile Smile. You started this one. John says you clearly don't understand objectivity. Something wrong with you. Do you know what the hell they're talking about?
I think that was related to the sports comment, and to which I just have to say, buddy.
Oh, come on.
Sports isn't about objectivity.
Come
like,
on.
I don't know who taught you how to root for sports.
Oh, come on.
The idea of rooting for one sports team for your entire life, like, that's inherently not objectivity. Why are you rooting for the United States of America, bro? That's not an objective thing to do. You're doing it subjectively because you fucking live there and you're rooting for the home team. You're not determining going every single tournament. This is the team I want to root for because of these objective reasons. No, you root for your fucking home team or whatever team you've pledged your fandom to. That's the entire concept of sports fandom laughs in the face of objectivity. And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, and listen, like, these complaints, I only want to hear them if you are a huge hardcore soccer fan. Then it makes sense, right? Then it makes sense. If, like the example I gave, if Mamdani had called, what's his name, Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, and bullied him into bringing back New York Knick, who had been suspended, if I was a Spurs fan, I would be royally pissed, right? I would be so mad because it is unfair. And if I was a big NBA fan who was concerned with the sanctity of the game, yeah, I'd care. But if you're doing this like for political reasons, go get the fuck out of here, right? There are way bigger fish to fry than this. It doesn't matter at all. Leave Trump alone. Oddly enough. Okay.
And also, TJ, my other point about that was the way better thing to attack Trump on there is the fact that he's fighting to keep a birthright citizen on the fucking team. Like, that is the obvious lane of political attack. If you want to politically attack him over this, it would be a good argument and make Trump actually look bad. Attacking him for helping the U.S. men's national team win is just going to make you look bad in the eyes of most normal fucking people.
Yeah. Was Trump a birthright citizen too? I don't know. Okay. All right. Okay. I wasn't sure about
I am pretty sure somewhere down the line, like his grandfather was or something.
Okay. All right. Yeah, everyone was at some point, right? Everyone officially was at some point. Colby says a lot of liberal rape apologia going on. Lord Alcatraz says it's peak irony the left would endorse a Nazi.
I'm still not like I really do also hate to be like, oh, he sexually assaulted someone, therefore we were right about him actually being a Nazi. Like, I don't see those two things.
Not limited to Nazi. Yeah, not limited to.
That's like rape is not limited to not. It's not even particular about the Nazis. Like it's not something like that's something we did in fucking Vietnam. You know, like, and you know you can call us whatever you want, but like it happens. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be. If they raped someone, they must have actually been a Nazi the whole time. It's a jump in logic that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. Jay Sizzy says that's a Nazi German song number. Numbnuts. What? Who knows that's in reference to? I don't know. Oh, all right, babe, where my dinner at? I've seen this person comment here before. Says it's just like the demon rats to support a rapist just because they don't want to vote for a woman. If he were a Republican, he'd already be in jail. No means no. I love this comment for 1,000 reasons. First, demon rats. Man, that's good. I love it when they pull out the demon rats because just how stupid the name is. Like, it's, you really got to force it in there. It's like, oh, Democrats. What about we take away the C or replace it with N, the demon rats? It doesn't flow quite as well. It's like really trying to force it right there. Second, babe, where my dinner at? it's rapists. Don't be a child. Like what where how old are you? Come on. This is that if there's no greater disrespect to someone who's been the victim of sexual assault than referring to it as grape, if you ask me. That is childish, and it's disgusting. Just because they don't want to vote for a woman. I like when Republicans do this because, listen, I do hate when Democrats do this because Democrats say, oh, you just didn't vote for this person because it was a woman. It's like, careful with that because Republicans can do it too. Eventually, a Republican woman will run, and they do. You can't. And if he were a Republican, he'd already be in jail. Get the fuck out of here. Donald Trump. Easy to go to Donald Trump, I know, but Donald Trump was literally found guilty in court for raping someone. Okay, he has dozens of sexual assault allegations, just as bad as Plattner. I think we talked about it on Tuesday.
He explicitly bragged about it. We all heard it happen. Like
even him talking about going backstage into the locker rooms of the Miss Teen USA pageant, not just the Miss USA pageant. Like 15-year-old girls, like, yeah, I get to see him half dressed. How great is that? And Republicans love him. They wear his merch. They get tattoos of him. They build like stores for him and probably their flags. They don't care about this stuff. And the one we talked about on Tuesday with Brett Kavanaugh, which every Republican I know has defended Brett Kavanaugh. The only reason Clarence Thomas is on Supreme Court is because he also denied a sexual assault claim. This is Denny Hastert is the longest. I don't even know who Denny Hastert is, John, but Denny Hastert is the longest serving Speaker of the House, either in American history, but certainly in Republican history. One of the two. He was Speaker of the House back in the 1990s. He ended up having to leave Congress because he was raping all the pages that came in there, like over and over again. Jim Jordan has had the same sexual assault allegation hovering over his head for years now. Republicans don't give a fuck. So I'm open to, like, I'm not as harsh as John. It's like, listen, if someone said that they thought Plattner was bad news and they want to gloat about it, fine. On the Democrat side, Republican side, I don't want to hear it. They're the last people want to hear from. You guys excuse the shit all day long.
I do think, TJ, that comment is a satirical account because it's too on the nose.
It's too good. It's too good.
They where my dinner at, either this is the most misogynistic man of all time. That would actually name himself "Babe, Where My Dinner At," or it's a satire account. And the thing that gives it away, with grapist. That's it. Like no one who's this misogynistic uses the word.
That's rapist. A good point. That's a good point.
That is a very liberal coded word to use. So I imagine that this is a liberal making a satire account, and it's a good one. It's a solid one. You got TJ.
That's good. That's good. I do want to say, babe, where my dinner at? All right, so this is my last boomer rant of the day or whatever. But it's not even a boomer rant. But you know what I hate? I hate being a super far left liberal progressive guy and having really like a Republican like relationship. What am I going here? What am I trying to say here? Oh, gender roles. Like in me and Heather's relationship, it is like straight down, like exactly what you'd expect from your regular conservatives. Like, I love it when she makes dinner for me. I love it. It's just that she likes doing it, And it's like, God, I get why people have these ideas and why they want to live that way, but yeah, I don't see a problem with baby more dinner at. Make daddy a sandwich. Let's go. What
we always say, if you're going to say that you can't have traditional gender roles, you now believe in a structural sort of gender role that is just different than the traditional ones. That is just as restrictive as you're really not understanding the point of the problem if your issue is the gender roles themselves, not the existence of gender roles. If a woman wants to make her man dinner every day and that is what makes her happy and part of the relationship, cool. That's great. But what I do love that the gender roles are the way they are, TJ, because it's so easy for a man to like win points by doing the most basic shit.
God, man. Oh boy. Shit. You're right.
I was talking to my grandmother. and my grandmother was like I mentioned that I cooked something. She's like, "Oh, you cooked something? That's amazing." And I was like, "Oh, I know." And Yolani's like, "Yeah, he cooks like half the time." And she looked at me like I was a fucking saint. She was like, "Oh my god, you're such a good man. You better not." And like I was, and her grandmother did the same thing when we told her. Like it's so easy to be a man if you just like do a couple little basic things that like are usually traditionally reserved for women. You do a couple of them that aren't even that hard, and when it comes to like cooking, kind of fun, honestly, if you get good at it. Yeah, you're it's so easy. It just makes life so much easier that we have these very, very stupid gender roles in place.
It is funny. Like in my heart, I am a gender abolitionist, but I don't think that can actually exist. I really don't. I even when it comes down to like something as simple as clothing, some clothes are gonna look better on male bodies and some are gonna look better on female bodies. We've created gender. The second you do that, and there's no getting around that. Men and women are gonna have different bodies for the next few 100,000 years at least. That's not going away. Like that gender category is going to exist, and so other than ones just kind of bleed out of that. And yeah, it's true about like how I don't know, Jai. Like I know I'm old and everything, but dating seems so easy now. I can't believe people keep complaining about it. I keep hearing people whine about how difficult it is. I don't know if you've heard this, but there's this thing going around on the TikTok, and it is this voicemail that this guy who he had went on 2 dates with a woman, and he sent her a voice memo, like or a text message or whatever, that basically said, "Hey, we're gonna go on our third date here pretty soon, and I just want to see if we're on the same page here because I would like to pursue this in a sexual manner, and I don't know if you feel the same way. So I just want to clarify that that's the direction. That's what I want out of this, and I want to make sure that you want this, want this out of this relationship too. And if not, then maybe we shouldn't go forward and everything." And the internet is split in two different directions. One with saying this guy is being manipulative, this guy is being controlling, this guy is trying to bully her, this guy is trying to use like crypto psychobabble to try to trick her to having sex with them. And the other half is people saying, listen, this is what consent looks like. What are you talking about? This is exactly what you want out of your partner. And it's way better for him to do this over the phone than to have an uncomfortable conversation like that in person. Then she might really feel trapped. And I look at this and say, it's like, what the fuck is going on here? In a million years, I would never. Now, I don't think he did anything wrong, but I would never fucking do that. I would never do it. I don't know about you would do it, John, but it's like, if I'm talking to someone, now third date is prime sex time. If you haven't had sex by the third date, I might be thinking, okay, this person might not be into me. I understand that thought completely, but I'm not gonna like schedule a play to have sex, right? I'm not gonna whip out the whiteboard, start marking up, okay, we'll do X, Y, and Z, and then sex. That's not romantic at all. I want to feel the vibe when it happens. So it's like, have people just forgotten how to date? I keep hearing people whine about how hard it is to talk to women, or like men aren't approaching anymore. And it's like, God, man, I just maybe I'm too late in the game, but dating seems like it should be a lot easier now than it is. Have you heard this, by the way? Any of that story?
I have heard this. I haven't heard that specific story. But I will say, yeah, you're wrong about that. That is
oh boy,
that is another boomer TJ take because
let's hear it.
It gets right to the fucking point. It's very clear and upfront about your intention. Anyone who's saying he's manipulating, that's dumb. He's being very clear and upfront about his intention. It would be manipulative to continue on expecting sex and not getting it, and continuing to try to get it without directly asking for it. Like that's like you said, like that's the whole consent thing. And by the way, it's probably a higher hit rate. Consent is sexy. Hate to break it, people, but it does work if you're just straightforward about your intentions. And the best part is, if you're not, okay, cool. You don't have to waste your fucking time anymore. Like if she says no, that's not where I see it. Okay, cool. We don't have to waste our fucking time doing this shit anymore. We don't have to like be like guessing about what the intention of the other person is. I think it's great for people to just be very straightforward and upfront about their desires for sex. It just makes life easier for everyone involved. And the whole like dating is hard thing, guys. Like I cannot stress this enough. Just stop being a little bitch. Stop being a little bitch. Just go ask them out. If they flame you, they whatever. Like you just move on. You know, like there's so many terrible guys out there who rack up numbers because they're unafraid of being able to look terrible. They're unafraid of it, and you know who they are. You know who they are, and you look at their behavior, and I bet you, no matter how bad you are at approaching a girl, you will not make them feel as uncomfortable as those men do on a daily basis. So you are probably not going to be blown up in the group chat or whatever. It'll be okay. Just make the move. Also, same thing for girls. Just make the fucking move. Just be upfront about your intentions with people and just talk to them like normal fucking people. Stop worrying about it. And trust me, that doesn't just apply to dating. That applies to your professional career. That applies to making friends. That applies to just be straightforward and upfront about your intentions, and you'll get what you want way more often.
Yeah, everything in life is a numbers game. Everything in life is a numbers game. The quicker you figure that out, the better you'll be for yourself. Speaking of numbers, Stewart says, capitalism built this country. The fact that Democrats want to tear it down makes me angry. John, what do you think about that? You started, so you get first crack at it. What do you think?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Capitalism didn't exist in 1776 as an economic concept, so no, it did not. And secondly, slavery built this country, motherfucker. That is not capitalist at all. If you want to be a free market capitalist, slavery is about the farthest thing from a free market that you can possibly fucking imagine. So no, we have never been a free market economy ever. I mean, no country really ever has. We have been capitalist for sure, but if you look at the period of the largest amount of growth in the American economy, like if you ask, like, hey, when was America great? You're probably going to look, in the post-World War II period, and that was one of the least capitalistic periods of American government policy. That's when you had the New Deal, you had all of these things that were very, very what would be called socialist nowadays, spurring on the American economy, getting us out of the Great Depression, helping us rebuild and take advantage of the destruction of Europe after World War II, very pro-labor policy in the government. All of these things you would call you would call socialist now. That was in effect during the largest period of growth in American history, where we became the global hegemon. So I don't know how you could possibly argue that capitalism built this country and we'd be foolish to get away from it.
Yeah, that's all good and well, John. But Stewart also says Democrats have been indoctrinated with communist propaganda. It said this is also funny too. Like how many Democrats who hold public office would call themselves communists? Like what percent? Like of all the Democrats who hold office in this nation, what percent would call themselves communists? Would it even be? Yeah, it's like you're not gonna find it, man. It's not true. And I like
whole office overall. We might have like 0.2%. There's probably some local communists.
Yeah, oh, that's true. It's like, yeah, the Democratic Party, they go out of their way to say that they're not communists. It doesn't matter. They get called communists anyway. And I also like that they think that, well, maybe not the politicians won't say it, but the people have been indoctrinated. By whom? Like the leaders aren't communists. They openly say that they're not. And maybe, John, you went to college. Like, how many Marxist professors did you have in your whole time in college? How many can you name?
None.
None. Yeah, no.
I had one that was like still a hippie. I imagine that he was a Marxist.
You might,
didn't really come up very often.
If you go to like a liberal, super liberal institution, you might have one communist professor, right? It's so weird that the Red Scare has been so effective all these years. I mean, all those people who quote unquote held their nose and whatever, I was talking about the rape allegations and everything. Did you have any other starred ones? I want to.
No other starred ones. Colby did say he got a match last week, had a date set up for Sunday, got her number, restaurant lined up, had to pick her up. Come the next morning, I asked for her address before I leave, and she still hasn't responded. Yeah, that happens, and just get off the fucking dating apps. Like, just go out in real life and don't use the dating apps. Don't really work very well. They might work, they could work, but if that's the only game you're playing, yeah, you're gonna get set up for a bunch of kicks in the nuts like that, because that's just the way the dating app world works.
So I haven't been on the dating apps in a long time, but I will say the dating apps don't work for most guys. They don't, because most guys. Look, the dating app, it's unfair, right? Like it's you're supposed to grab someone's attention with a picture and a profile. So unless you're better than average looking, and the women actually, guys, believe it or not, the women actually read the profiles. Okay, It's incredible to think, but they actually do read them. Like we don't do that, but so I just like it's like I would never waste my time reading a profile, but it's like so they actually do read the profiles. But so if you're not exceptionally good looking or exceptionally creative, witty, and funny, you're not really getting anywhere. Now, Kobe, I think you got a good chance here. Kobe might be, I haven't seen what Kobe looks like, but as long as you're average or above, I think that you got a good chance because you're a funny and creative person. So I would say stick with the dating apps as long as you're getting success. Most guys don't get any success on it. But I will tell you this, Kobe. I developed like this formula is the wrong word, but a system for like your dates. Now, you said you took it to a restaurant. I would say that's a mistake for a first date. A first date at a restaurant, I don't think it's a good idea. I think your first date should be something really light, casual, and cheap. Not cheap because you don't want to spend money, but cheap because this is a first date. You don't know this person. So my go-to move was like a coffee shop or something. Like, hey, we'll meet up on Saturday at 11 or something, or Sunday at 10, like a coffee brunch thing. And you meet up and then set a hard time limit on the date. This is probably the most important part. Set a hard time limit of about 45 minutes. Absolutely no more than an hour. Because what a lot of guys end up doing is that they're really good at talking themselves out of a second date. This happens a lot. That you're talking and because listen, if a girl doesn't like you at 45 minutes, she's not going to like you at an hour and a half. It's hard to turn that ship around. However, if she does like you at 45 minutes, there's no guarantee she'll still like you at an hour and a half. You could talk yourself out of that really badly. So you want to get a good feeling for it. 45 minutes, have her like you. It's like, oh, this is fun. I'd love to go on a second date with her. End it. End it at 45 minutes. Leave them wanting more. That first date strategy works pretty much every time, as long as you're an entertaining and fun and personable, interesting person to be around. But a restaurant, you're shoving a bunch of food in your mouth. It's like, is it at night? It's dark. It's weird. I don't know. It's like an interview. Keep it light and interesting. What do you think, John?
I think different strokes for different folks. But I do agree with your general concept there of keep it small, make them wanting more. Like that's just classic marketing, right? But yeah, I mean, just do what works for you. You know, be authentic. The same fucking advice we have for political candidates, I'll give to men or women in the dating scene out there. Be authentically yourself, and then play the ball as it lies, right? Because if you try and change yourself to meet your audience, you're going to end up sounding eventually like those corporate Democrat shills who are just focus grouping everything and trying to appeal to everyone and not actually inspiring anyone. Whereas if you are authentically yourself, you might have a lot of people who hate you. You might not be able to get that one girl that you really like. But that's because it's not ever going to fucking happen for you. And you get to know that immediately and then just move the fuck on. And that to me is the biggest fucking advice, again, for politicians or for dating. I do want to get to Stuart here, and then we can circle back to obsession through the dating thing, because I did have some comments on that. But Stuart just had a beautiful fucking comment here, TJ. I voted for Trump. He closed our Texas borders. The crime is still really bad near Houston. Trump closed the border and Democrats want to reopen. Why?
Wow,
Stuart,
come on.
I'm not even like fool like that. I'm not going to give facts or whatever. I'm just going to assume the entirety of existence is your comment right here. And I can answer your question with the comment. If Trump closed the borders and crime is still really bad, why closing the borders didn't help crime? Like you're just admitting that the fucking immigrants were not committing crimes at any significant rates. And that's exactly what we see when you look at crime data. Fucking illegal immigrants actually commit far less crime, commit crime at far lower rates than native born Americans. And by the way, legal immigrants. So like, it's just, that's a dumb comment. I hope you understand here, Stuart. You made a terrible argument with that comment. I hope you learned a lesson here.
Stuart's commented a lot. I get.
I do appreciate you, Stuart. I appreciate. I'm trying to help you here.
Okay. All right. So what do you have with the obsession, John? How'd you want to link that into this?
And I kind of mentioned this on our Tuesday show. We talked about it, but we were just talking about like how dating is hard right now, and that is the vibes out there, right? Like as much as
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we're saying, like Unc's telling you it's not as hard as it is, but like people are very concerned. Like young people who are in the dating pool, it's like, oh, this really sucks, and I do feel like it has always sucked. Like I don't. I feel like every generation goes, oh, dating particularly sucks for us. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it sucks in unique in different ways at different time periods, and there are things that suck about it now. But I did want to get to the core of why the horror works so well is because the horror is kind of dating, right? The horror is people say like is Bear the villain, right? And for a good chunk of the movie, I was sitting there going like, I knew that Bear would end up being the villain, just how this movie is and knowing the creator and everything. But for the first part of the movie, Bear really is the victim. Like genuinely is the victim. Does he do some dumb shit? Does he do some cowardly shit? Yeah. But like he gets manipulated as fuck by Freaky Nikki. When he takes her home, he tries to do the right thing. He tries to like not have, and she ends up coercing him into sex. He wanted the sex, that is true. But he was trying to do the right thing, and she just fucking screamed at him until he would fuck her. And that all of the things that Crazy Nikki was doing to Bear were genuine acts of emotional manipulation and abuse that people really genuinely see in their real life. Now, does all the like fucking absolutely crazy stabbing their fucking self in the eye shit actually happen? No, but the horror is derived from the real life horror of dating. And I think that's what makes it so fucking good. It's like in my mind, like Hereditary really fucking nailed having a crazy, emotionally manipulative mother and having a conflict with her. Really, as someone who's had that experience in his life, really fucking nailed it and made Hereditary way fucking scarier for me. And I feel like that's what made Obsession the super fucking skyrocket box office that it had, is because the horror that it is, the real life horror that is derived from, is so relatable to so many people. And I just spoke about the men's side of it. Obviously, women can probably relate to the horror of what Bear did to Nikki as well.
So the horror is the fact that dating is difficult. I guess that's true. I don't mean that being in a relationship or even like being in a dating relationship is easy for anybody. It never has been, it never will be. I was more referencing like, oh, it's impossible to get a date. It's impossible to find someone to even take a shot with. And that's the part that I think is nonsense.
Yeah, 100%. But were there, I know you said that there were some other obsession thoughts you might want to get to. Was there any before we close that book?
Let's see. Well, Kobe, did you get a chance to talk to Kobe about Obsession and how much he hated it?
Was it Kobe? I thought it was Kyle that hated it.
Oh, yeah, Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. And Kyle says, haven't seen Obsession the second time, but currently dreading it because I hated it the first time. My theory is that Nikki was possessed by a demon to force her to act the way she did has been debunked by the director. And a new plot hole came up. If the Wishing Willow were real, the world should be a lot more chaotic. I thought the entire storyline was so boring because it's been done a million times. Guy uses magic to force a woman to fall in love with him, and it goes horribly. Plus, it's not true to life. As a practicing witch and also Buddhist, women 2-1 ask for love, obsession, and domination magic. John, what do you got to say? You're with the film school. You like to flex that on me. What do you think?
I love like every comment there from Kyle. So I addressed this on Tuesday's show, Kyle. I know you weren't, I imagine you weren't there. But you're right, it has been done a million times. That's what makes it so good, is because it's a premise that has been done a million times, but done in a unique way that was very well executed. Like me and TJ were talking about, like the jump scares in that movie were genuinely fantastic, and it's hard to make good jump scares. The way Nikki moved, like it's terrifying when she is the scene where he wakes up and he sees her in the corner and like he's just like stapled there in his bed. Like again, like feelings that I've had of terror not necessarily like with a woman that I'm dating, like doing that, but like that's like the classic kids scary thing. You're like, oh, there's a thing over there, and I'm stuck in this bed, and if I make the wrong moves, it's going to come get me. And they nail that exceptionally well on every single scene in that movie. Well, again, the premise wasn't what drove the movie. If you are I really like the premise, and this was an uninteresting premise, I agree with you. But even then, kind of the world building of the difference, the very liberal hippie code vibed stoner fucking customer service rep, like that's all very interesting. That's unique and new and a wrinkle that I haven't seen in this type of movie before. I just think it's interesting. I really fucking love that Kyle's a witch. I did not know that. Adding to the lore of the show, Kyle is a practicing witch. I don't necessarily know that, and also a Buddhist. Just fucking fantastic.
Didn't know you could do both. Did not know you could do both.
Did not know. I mean, I guess like I don't even know. I would love to hear more about that, honestly. But women 2 for 1 ask for love, obsession, and domination magic. That's actually a really good point in the movie. Like Ian does what like most normal dudes would do, and he just asks for $1 billion and snaps the thing, and like that's what like. But like I would imagine that women would make more bear type wishes than men. Like I would actually, not that there's any way to prove this, but that does feel very right to me.
Yes, that is so funny. That's such a good point. If I was given a one wish willow, I would like, oh, I wish this person was obsessed with me. Like, what?
No,
No, I would never think about.
Would that even cross my fucking mind? But like, $1 billion. Again, first of all, if I ever get like a thing like that, it is I'm hiring the best lawyers in the world to make the most airtight fucking wish I possibly can, in order for it to not go wrong. And that would probably take me a good dozen years before I actually made the wish, just to make sure that it went right. But yeah, like it would be much more simple shit for me. Like it would really not affect other people we would want to empower ourselves, not like control someone else with the wish most of the time. Now, might we use that power to control people down the line? 100%. but history is full of evidence to that theory. But yeah, I would say that if you were to like just give the one wish willow to people, see what they would do. Women would wish for someone to love them obsessively way more than men would.
That's so funny. That's a great point. Hugh Jass says, Kyle mentioned Buddhism before. You just don't care about your viewers, apparently. We knew we knew he was a Buddhist. And in fact, I knew he was Buddhist and a witch because last week he said that he was Buddhist and a witch. But yeah, it's just, I've never heard of anyone who was a Buddhist and a witch at the same time. I didn't know. I thought they were, I don't know. I don't know how to rule. Because last week, Heather and I were talking about that and about like what witches believe. Because I was saying that from what I know, Kyle, if you're still there, you can tell me. But are you a Wiccan witch or a different type of witch? I don't know if there's more. But like from what I know, they don't believe in like one wish willow type powers. They believe that they can use something to change the odds of probability in their favor, like a good luck charm or something like that. Like they can't fly on brooms and shit. Yeah. So all right. So Kyle says, wish for a happy and healthy romantic, sexual, and platonic relationship with someone. That is really how you do it. Well, Kyle is the expert here. He's the witch. So, I mean, he would know, right? And so, I dare you to give a better authority than that. And also, yeah, so Obsession, Kyle, we can't make you like the movie. Kyle sent me a message saying that he wanted to go see it again. I told him, like, well, I mean, look, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I don't think the second viewing is going to make you think it's great or anything like that. I liked it. John liked it. Heather liked it. Everyone else in the country liked it. It's fine. Listen, there's plenty of movies out there that people love that I don't love. Or songs. Like I remember when Armageddon came out and that stupid Aerosmith song was everywhere. Everyone said how I don't want to miss a thing. It's an incredible song. The song fucking sucked. It's fine. You can just be an outlier there. It's okay. I wanted to get to, where's the comments Colby said here? Colby said, John, if you're, I don't know, if you're an all...
I think that on the apps, the literal hardest thing is getting them to respond and just follow through. Yeah, 100%. Because you don't have an actual relationship with the person. That's the problem with the apps. Like you're texting someone cold. I'm a witty guy. I can text well. I can't text someone cold. Like I can't text you if I don't fucking know you. Like how am I even supposed to get there? Like I've only ever met women in real life. And you know what?
Really?
Yeah, I've been on one app date. It went horribly wrong because it was just like went over to her house and then her dad and brother come home. They weren't supposed to be home, but they came home because her brother broke his arm, and so they come rushing in the door, and they're just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And then I was like, "Oh," and she was like, "Oh, this is my friend John," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm her friend John." And then the dad invited me to stay for dinner, and I was like, no, that's okay. I think I'll get going." And then the girl was like, "No, you should stay." And I was like, I guess it was the worst date of my entire life. It was absolutely horrendous. I should have just left. I should have just been like, "No, actually grandma's dying. I gotta go." But no, that was my only app date. But yeah, like in real life, people, and if you don't have girls in your real life and you want to meet girls, like just join a fucking running club. Join a
running club, man. Join a running club. Join a running club.
It's good for you, and it's everyone is there to fuck each other. That's the only reason anyone joins a running club. Just go do it.
Yeah, I had an app date once too that went kind of like that. I met her and we were gonna go out to lunch or something. And halfway through our lunch, she got a phone call, and I drove her right out, and so she got a phone call. And like her friend kept calling her, so she had to answer it. And she's like, "Oh my God, like the police are at my friend's house." Now this sounds like a girl's trying to get out of a date, right? It's like, okay, all right, this, but you know, I had the car. She really wanted to see her, so I drove her to her friend's house. And the cops were there, and apparently there was like a domestic assault that her boyfriend had on her. He had kicked down the door and shit. And so like we walked over there, and I'm like walking through this house like, what is going on here? And I'm just amazed. And the girl's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm just walking around her house and everything. But yeah, it was weird like that. Those app days, maybe they just kind of attract people like that. Kobe says, "Dozens of matches just to tell me they thought my comment was funny, and they'll never respond again." Those are you gotta get those numbers up, Kyle. Those are Kobe.
100%. Again, Kyle, like you are complaining about dating apps, not dating. like I have to be very clear. That's not going to change. There's nothing you can do to change that. That's just going to happen because you have a dozen, and they have 1,200.
Yeah,
and you're just not gonna. It's a numbers game, and you're playing a game where you're never going to be able to rack up the numbers. It's just. You can get lucky. People do meet on dating apps, but it is torturous.
Kobe says TJ follows me on Instagram, but has never looked at my profile. How do you know that? Like, well, I don't even know what that means. I guess I don't look at
what he looks like.
I don't look at profiles. I know what it looks like now. I can see it now. All right. He just says, "Kobe, he was too busy reading your bio." That's funny. That's funny. That's good right there. And then Kobe says, "You guys wouldn't need to scream at me. You could just ask nicely. John can't say his wife did. She'd hear him. And TJ would only do solo shows going forward." What's that in reference to?
I don't know. I do not know what that one is in reference to.
That's too bad that we get behind on this. All right, we're going to close out here pretty soon. Did Kyle like Joss Whedon's Cabin in the Woods?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you like Cabin in the Woods?
I loved it.
I loved it. It's not a good horror. It is not a scary horror movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's a fun B horror movie.
It's fun. It's fun. It's so hard to. I don't know if you remember the movie Drag Me to Hell, but that was like a comedy horror, and I don't usually like comedy horror. Evil Dead 2 is like comedy horror. They're two. It's like playing an E and an E flat at the same time. Just dissonant. It doesn't sound good, but my God, Cabin in the Woods fucking nailed it. They nailed comedy horror for me. Like, because I like that it's basically two movies. It starts off like one set, and then boom, you're in an alternate world, basically. I thought that was great. So Cabin in the Woods. One of my favorite scenes is Chris Hemsworth character on the motorcycle trying to jump the canyon, and he hits that wall. Just fantastic. I love it.
I forgot that was Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, it's Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, it's Kenneth Russell says Purple Rain, 1984. Oh,
I do not know what they were. I think maybe like songs that people like that they hate. Maybe is what they were saying, which I agree.
Purple Rain. You don't like Purple?
I hate Prince. I hate Purple. I don't get it.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Prince. I just not my cup of tea, TJ.
Hey, all right. Oh, Kyle answered. I practice mostly folk magic. Buddhism is my spiritual practice. Magic is what I do to engage with nature and the deities. Recruiting allies to make life nice. They are two different buckets. Magic in theory influences the world the same way actions do. You want someone to love you, bake them garlic bread, and cast a glamour spell. All right, those are two different things. I don't understand. Well, whatever. We can ask. One of those I understand. The other one I don't. And you get Colby and me confused a lot. Well, yeah, I do. Do you ever confuse Colby and Kyle? I do all the time. Their names are too similar.
I don't. But I do it like verbally. Like I'll maybe say Colby when I meant Kyle, but I always know who I'm thinking of.
I fuck them up all the time. Especially since they got rid of like you guys
that could screw us up. Yep.
Yeah, like it shows like usernames now instead of names, and so like it's
like Colby, like they're all grandfathered in. Like new followers now, new people who watch the show. We're never going to know their real names. They're just going to be
you're right. Yeah,
username. You know, Kyle is grandfathered into that.
Speaking of which, you know who we had comment on the show Thursday? We haven't heard from in a long time. Ben the Socialist Jew. Haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, he was under his mom's account, Rachel Hyatt. You know, and so it's like we hadn't seen him in a long time. But all right, okay. You know what? I didn't even get to the Iran thing. Actually, I want to play the clip real quick, John. We got a few minutes left. But this is Donald Trump. I think this is him saying that he's no longer honoring the ceasefire, which, as far as I'm concerned, never really was a thing to begin with. But okay. It's crazy. Like, it was a ceasefire that with no ceasing. Like, it was like it kept going. And so I didn't even see this as an actual announcement. But I found this clip kind of funny.
Is the ceasefire over? Is the ceasefire done? Is the MOU dead?
It's a very interesting question. To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars. We make a deal. And if I make a deal with him, we have a deal. And he goes out, he talks. We make a deal. Everyone's agreed. No nuclear weapon. We make a deal. They go outside, talk to the press. They say, we never even talked about it. There's something wrong with them. They're cuckoo.
And then they had, there's another one I wanted to show. I think it's right above here. I thought this was a great question. I wish they had asked Trump questions like this more often. Here we go. This is, they're talking about how he referred to them as scum.
Mr. President, Tyler Pager with the New York Times. Last month you said Iranian leaders were very rational people, nice people to deal with, strong people, smart people. Today you said they were scum, sick people, and being led by sick people. What changed, and do you think
I got to know him. So
I've said that.
I don't know. I was like, I love that answer. I got to know him. You know, when I said they were calm and rational, I didn't really know who I was talking about here. John, I haven't seen Mark. I don't think we've seen Mark since we first made that bet about the Strait of Hormuz being closed in 6 months. That was in May. I don't remember seeing Mark all last month. Definitely haven't seen him in July because I've been waiting. I've been waiting to get on Mark about what's been going on in Strait of Hormuz. Where are you, Mark? Maybe he's sick again.
Mark sent us an email. Apologizing for missing our show. so
okay, never mind. All right.
He has been busy.
Okay, all right.
I don't think he's ducking us, but yeah, that bet is looking pretty good, TJ. I don't know. That Strait of Hormuz is not opening any fucking time soon. Just like we said when the ceasefire is, we were like, yeah, this is fake, guys. Anyone who believes this,
obviously.
And it turns out we were right about that. Shockingly, it's all dumb. I also really hate like the reporting I've seen about this current escalation because like I've seen so many, like Axios was one of them, where they just like don't include the part where America intentionally ferried commercial vessels into Iran's restricted waters which likely was because there's fucking mines there. And then Iran attacked the ships because they said no one can go through here, and they did anyway. And that's what happened with all of this.
Yeah.
And it was obvious provocation. And it's like, we started this war, like all the way down. It's just like, we keep doing it every single time. It's us. We're the bad guys. It's us. I don't know how to explain this to people. The Iranian regime, also bad guys in other conflicts. In this one, not the bad guys. In the conflict with us, they are the good guys. In the conflict with their own people, they are the bad guys. It's just dumb. And also, I just have to say, Jared Kushner, I forgot that he's negotiating this.
I know. So what the?
It's just like we say this all the time. We can have a good faith conversation with Republicans, but like, bro, he put his son-in-law in charge of negotiating the war that he unilaterally started for no reason. Like this is like such fucking amateur hour bullshit. If Joe Biden,
I know,
started a war with Iran, and put Hunter in charge of negotiating shit, all over that.
This stuff,
fucking DEI. That's the most fucking DEI thing I've ever fucking. Jared Kushner. What fucking accomplishments does Jared fucking Kushner have? What other person besides Donald Trump would hire Jared fucking Kushner to negotiate with Iran over a war? Like, it's just the dumbest thing you've ever heard all the way down.
I'm sure everyone in the U.S. military knows their lives are in the hands of Jared fucking Kushner. It's all resting on that guy. Yeah, if Hunter Biden did a tenth of the shit that Jared Kushner, Eric Trump, and Donald Trump Jr. have done over the last few years, like, they're probably never shut up about it. And it's honestly, the Democrats should talk about it a lot more. But all right, so we gotta take off here. Any final words here, John?
No. Fun show.
Great
guys.
episode.
Like
Great episode.
Yeah, we had a good family episode today.
Great episode. That was so fun.
Here.
Yeah.
Really like talking to everyone. We'll be back on our TikTok show on Tuesday at 6:30, and we'll be back here on Thursday. Same time, same place.
Catch you guys later.
Bye.
I gotta take